Picture this. You're sitting in your car in a Target parking lot. You've been there for 40 minutes. You went in for paper towels. You came out with a candle, a throw pillow, 2 onesies you swore you weren't going to buy yet. And now you're crying in the front seat because a baby in line behind you smiled at you. And you don't know when or if you're going to bring your baby home. That moment right there, that's the waiting stage. It's the part of adoption nobody warned you about, the part where the road stretches out flat in front of you for what feels like forever, and then, out of nowhere, takes a sharp left turn at 11:47 p.m. on a Tuesday night when your phone rings and everything changes. If you've been there, you know. And if you're there right now, I see you. You are exactly where you're supposed to be, my friend, even if it doesn't feel like it. Hey friends, I'm Rebecca Greenspan, and welcome to Season 4 of the Adoption Roadmap podcast. If this is your first time here, first of all, hi, welcome. Pour yourself something, get comfy, and this is a good place to land. And if you're a returning listener, you came back. I love that for us, truly. I'm so excited. Here's what I want to tell you about this season right out of the gate. Season 4 is about joy. Yes, I said it, joy. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, oh great, another rose-colored glasses adoptive mom, stay with me. Because I'm not talking about toxic positivity, slap a quote on it, everything happens for a reason, joy. That's not my brand. And if you've met me, you know that. I'm talking about the kind of joy that coexists with the hard stuff, the joy that lives in the same room as the grief, the kind that shows up in the waiting, in the paperwork, in the 3 a.m. feedings, in the open adoption holiday photos, in the awkward family questions, in the wins and the losses, in the calls you take, and in the calls you don't get. Adoption is a both and journey, both joyful and complicated, both beautiful and messy, both yours and somebody else's. And after almost 13 years of doing this work, I can tell you, you don't have to choose. The joy is part of it. It always has been. So this season, I'm going to bring joy into every single episode, even when we're sitting with the hard stuff, especially then. Okay, let's reset the roadmap, because if you're new here, I don't want you drinking from a fire hose for the next 10 weeks or so. Here's the framework we work from on this show, the Adoption Roadmap. 4 steps, that's it. Step 1, educate. You learn the language, learn the landscape, learn the difference between an agency, a consultant, and an attorney, because trust me, Google is just going to confuse you. Step 2, prepare. Home study, finances, paperwork, agencies, adoption opportunities, all of it. The stuff that feels like a part-time job because, well, it is kind of a part-time job. Step 3, match and wait. This is where the Target parking lot moment happens. This is where joy and patience have to learn to share a bed. Step 4, bring baby home and beyond. And I want to say something about that word beyond, because adoption doesn't end at placement. That's not the finish line. That's a starting line, a different one. Why am I walking you through this on the very first episode of Season 4? For 2 reasons. 1, if you're brand new here and you're overwhelmed, this is your relief. There's a path. People have walked it. I've walked it with hundreds of families. You're not making this up as you go along. And 2, because this season, we're not just looking at the finish line of bringing a baby home. We're looking at the whole map. Here's the heart of what I want you to hold on to this season. Love doesn't cancel identity. Listen to that again. Love doesn't cancel identity. Tattoo it on the inside of your eyelids if you have to, because loving a child does not erase where they came from. Loving a child does not undo the loss in their story. Loving a child does not mean you are the only piece of who they are. And this is the joyful part, it doesn't have to. Love is bigger than that. Love can hold all of it. That's why this season I'm so committed to bringing voices from every single side of the adoption constellation to this microphone, as I have always done. Adoptees, birth parents, adoptive parents, adoption professionals, all of them. Because if you only listen to one voice in this conversation, you're reading one chapter of a book and calling it the whole story. And we're not doing that here, not on my show. So what's coming? Well, this season, you're going to hear from adoptive parents at different stages of the post-adoption journey, because day 1, year 3, and year 10 are very different conversations, and I want you to hear all of them. We're going to hear from an adoptee who's also an adoptive parent. The wisdom in that conversation is something you don't hear too often. We're going deep on the home study. I know it's our most asked about topic and our most favorite episodes. So this season, we're going to bring it back, but we're going to get into the nitty gritty and the personal stuff, the stuff nobody tells you about over coffee. An adoptee living in the crosshairs of a real live conflict in the world, a conversation about identity, belonging, and what home means when the ground is literally moving. We're going to hear from people who have adopted with another child already at home, the sibling logistics, the emotional prep, the are we doing this right of it all. And how to talk to your children about adoption at every age, in every season, without freezing up or making it weird. Because let's face it, sometimes it's just weird conversations. A few of these conversations are going to make people really uncomfortable. Good. That's how we grow. All right. That's all about season 4 of the Adoption Roadmap podcast. Now, on the business side of my life, we hit a really big milestone since the last time I was with you, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. We've officially helped over 500 families bring home a baby through adoption. 500! Let that sit for a second. 500 families who now have a kid making a mess in their kitchen because somebody somewhere said yes to this journey. We've also done some real reorganizing and a lot of restructuring since you last heard from me, both at RG Adoption Consulting and at Our Chosen Child, both of my companies. And friends, I am so excited about the teams at both of these companies. I feel so lucky every single day to be their leader. On the home front, my teenage son is officially taller than me. Akila, my 60-pound golden doodle, who always has a little ponytail in her hair, by the way, is officially convinced that any food left within her reach when we have left the house is automatically left for her. And I'm officially out of denial about both of those things. So before I let you go, I want to talk to whoever needs to hear this today. If you are sitting in the waiting, the real waiting, the kind that doesn't show up in your calendar, I want you to know something. Your family is being built right now, even on the quiet days, even on the days where nothing happens, even on the days that you wonder if you made a mistake choosing adoption, especially on those days. The story you're living right now, the slow part, the scary part, the part where you don't have answers yet, that's not a delay. That's just chapter 1. And one day, you're going to look back on this exact season of your life and realize joy was already there, tucked in between the hard things, just waiting for you to notice. So bring the joy with you. Don't save it for the finish line, because guess what, my friends? There isn't one. There's just the road, and it's a beautiful one. And listen, you don't have to know every turn. You don't have to have the whole map memorized. That's not your job. That's mine. Think of me as your compass. You bring the courage, you bring the open heart, you bring the joy, and I'll help you find your way with a little joy of my own. That's what we do here. I'm so glad you're walking it with me. I'm Rebecca Greenspan. This is the Adoption Roadmap Podcast. New episodes drop every Wednesday, and season 4 is officially open for business. Let's go.